Welcome to Fuel Your Drive.
Guys, what's going on? Welcome to Fuel Your Drive. I am your host, Josh York. Thank you for the love. I just got to start off by saying that I appreciate it. I've been getting tons of comments, tons of shares. New people have been subscribing. My views have been going up, so I cannot thank you enough. It means the absolute world to me. And please continue to share, like, subscribe. Seriously, I really, really do appreciate it. But guys, I want to talk about something today. I had a new franchise owner the other day I was talking to who just started out and, wasn't taking off the way they were planning on taking off. And when I mean taking off, I mean their business taking off, ramping up fast, right? Growing and bringing in sales and getting new business. And what a great person. Really happy they're in our franchise system. But, when obviously you're doing something new, it takes some time to learn. There's obviously that learning curve. And, sometimes you need to, get a mentor. And that's why franchising is just a great option for many people, because you're part of a community and you have support, right? Like I always say, you're in business for yourself and not by yourself. And that's why I've always loved franchising, because, you can't take over the world yourself. You got to do it with a group of great people, a group of intense, passion-driven, passion dripping through your computer screen from your camera, like high energy, great people who want to make change. And that's what we're doing. But, this person was doing a lot of time thinking and less time doing. And if you're looking to drive your business, like this is going to be such a short and sweet podcast, but it's going to really get to the point. Like you need to do, and you need to do it over and over and over and over. One of my biggest pet peeves is when someone says to me, oh, I tried it one time, or I tried it twice, or yeah, I tried that for 2 weeks. It didn't work. You have to continuously keep trying and keep trying. Now, look, I'm really referring to the GYMGUYZ business model, but obviously it works. There's a demand for it. I'm aware of it. I've been doing it for 16 years. You got to obviously make sure, like, if you're doing something for years and you have no business or no sales, no clients, then obviously there's a problem there and it might not be a demand for the service. That's a whole nother issue. I'm talking like when you're launching a business and there is demand and there is opportunity. Look, sometimes people don't like to hear this, but the advice I usually give them is to go look in the mirror, because 99.99999% of the time, you're the problem. You're the problem. And sometimes, that whole I'm a victim, comes into play, and you hear those voices in your head and you start telling yourself that it's my fault. And listen, that's not going to do anything. It's action. It's getting out there and doing. And I've talked about this before, but I wanted to position this a little differently in this episode. But I wanted to really, drive home the point so you understand you need routine. You need consistency. You need to do it over and over again. You might not think it's working. It's working. Trust me, it's working. But keep doing it. And as you keep doing it, you'll get little signs that, wow, it is working. You'll get a little taste. You'll get some new business, and that will inspire and motivate you more. But you got to understand, the road is never smooth. It's never, ever smooth. The road is always bumpy. There's tons of holes. There's tons of detours and, challenges you're going to go through driving on that road, but stay on the road. I like to say P squared, right? And that's my reference to being patient with pain. You have to be patient with pain. Listen, if it was so easy, everyone would do it. I always say it's easy to say, it's not easy to do. But you got to understand, if you're not developing good routines and you're not being consistent with it, like, I always like to say, like, give your last 100 to 200 days. Like, let's say 200 days. Take 200 days. If you were able to actually be consistent with what you're doing for 200 days, you are going to be set up for success. It's funny. I think about like the breakfast I eat every day. I've been eating the same breakfast every single day since I'm like 17 years old. It's not that I love it or I like it. It's just like I'm in my routine and that's what I do. And I stick to my routine. Like if I were to go away on vacation, I would change up my breakfast because, I'm going to indulge and enjoy a little bit. But for like 99.9% of the time, it's the same thing. My workouts are at the same time. I wake up at the same time. I'm in my ice bath at the same time. I'm doing, like this podcast. I do my podcast on Thursday at the same time. I drop a podcast every week on Thursday at the same time. It's about routine. It's about consistency. You got to develop yourself to almost become like a sniper's best friend, right? Like a sniper would get me because they know what time I walk and take the same step at what time, what day. That I'm just very calculated, right? Everything is exactly the same. And when you develop those routines, that's what's going to set you up for success. And you want that because it's the greatest thing in the world, because you're able to impact lives, change lives, and do great things. But you have to understand it's not easy. It's not easy. So if you're going through a challenging time, use this episode to refocus and say, or as I like to say, recharge, right? We have our recharge, which is our convention, but use it to recharge yourself to say, all right, let me refocus. Let me get back into a routine, right? Because this individual was telling me, yeah, I've been doing a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but right now I'm just sitting in the coffee shop and, I'm just, right now focusing on getting some shows set up. And I said, and that's great, but that's not going to drive your business, right? That's not going to drive your business. So I went through the whole step of, here's what you got to do every day. Here's how you got to do it. Don't stop doing it. When you feel like you don't want to do it, you do it anyway. And that's it. And look, some things that I've done in the past, and I still do to this day, you got to focus on things you love, right? Like I think of like someone very special, and I think about this person all the time. And I always just like kind of focus on what my goal is. And I focus on that person and I think about them. And when I do, it just, keeps me more driven, keeps me focused, and keeps me getting after it. But you have to understand, like, you need something to keep you going. Okay. Because people, look, everyone likes to say this and that. Listen, I'm being very real with you. Okay. Most of these people on the internet don't even do anything. They haven't even built a great business. They have nothing to back it up. Like, it is lonely. It is lonely, right? Like, I have one very good friend. That's it. Literally one very good friend. And that's all I want. I don't need any other good friends. Like, I'm not even like, that's not even one of my bad. I have lots of acquaintances, but one really, really good friend. Do I have other friends? I do. But one really good friend that I can count on. I know they'd be there for me no matter what, ride or die, through good or through bad, no matter what, they'd be there. And that's important. But the bottom line, it is lonely. It's not easy, right? It's not easy. And you gotta, you're really going to be able to understand how resilient and how gritty you are by how you handle yourself during those tough times. And they're always going to come. And I've been doing this 16 years and I still have those days. I'll give you a perfect example. In the last 2 days, what's happened. So I was really, really excited. Today's what, Thursday. On Tuesday, I love getting foot massages. I told you that. If you've been listening to me, I love getting foot massages. They're actually very good for your body, very good for your health. Your feet have the most nerves in your entire body and control a lot. So they're very good for you, especially like the detox and all that. But I love getting a foot massage. And I was really excited to get one because it's been a while since I had one because I've been super busy. So I booked an appointment and I'm getting ready to go. And one of the toilets in my building backed up, pipe cracked, and I had a whole thing. I ended up staying here for like 4.5 extra hours when I didn't have to. So I was planning on leaving at like 6:30. I ended up leaving, it's like, I don't know, 10 o'clock at night, but it was just a long day. Then yesterday, the next day, I actually did leave a little early, which usually I don't, because I usually put in like 12 to 14 hours a day, sometimes longer. And I get home, I'm like, all right, let me just shave quickly, hop in the shower, and I'm going to get to bed early tonight so I can get some sleep. I'm exhausted. I've just been going and going and going. I turn on my buzzer. I'm about to buzz my face right here. I'm about to start shaving. One of our top trainers calls, and he's like, Josh, my van broke down. What do I do? He's on the side of the road. He was nervous. Thank God he was okay. So as the leader as I am, what did I do? I jumped in my truck, went out there to meet him, took care of everything. I didn't end up getting home till like 10:15 at night. This is the name of the game. If you want to have things people don't have, you have to be willing to do things people won't do. Most people would not want to be doing that. They'd be too tired at night. They'd be comfortable at home, whether they're laying on their couch about to get in their bed. It doesn't matter. You have to be willing to sacrifice. You have to be willing to do that. But I hope this was helpful. I hope you are understanding that everything will pass. I hope you continue to listen to things I say, because this will set you up for success. Guys, like, subscribe to the channel, share it. Until next time, fuel your drive. See ya.
Do you know my name? My name is Legend.